Rifleman. Starring Chuck Connors.
Hope you didn't mind the detour, Lucas. Just thought I'd like to see the old place after so many years.
Well, this is where you were raised, huh, Micah?
Yep, the old town's still standing.
Anybody still live here, Micah?
Oh, no, Mark, just a ghost town now. When the mines gave out, folks just naturally drifted away. Nothing here to hold them.
It looks like we've got a choice of putting up here for the night or on the trail.
Let's make it here, Lucas. An early start in the morning will get us in North Fork Friday.
Fine. Bustling town in its time, huh, Micah?
As a boy, it was big city life. Here, look there, Lucas. 5-cent whiskey. If my memory serves me correct, the price included all the stew you could stow away.
5-cent whiskey. The good old days, huh, Micah?
Yeah.
Paul, that door looked like somebody closed it.
Well, the wind plays funny tricks in a ghost town, Mark. The doors all warped and dried out. They open and shut by themselves.
I don't think it was the wind, Micah. At least it didn't seem like it.
Well, there's one way to find out, son. Well, you satisfied, Mark?
One of the biggest treats I can remember as a boy was being allowed to sweep out the store here for a stick of licorice.
Well, there's lots of dust in here, Micah. Hey, what's that, an entrance to a mine?
Oh, yeah, it's just one of many you'll find around town, Lucas. Just about everybody in town who owned a piece of property tried their hand at mining sometime or other. Why, in 10 years, more than 5 miles of tunnel were dug onto this town. It's like a crazy patchwork quilt down there now.
Did it ever pay off big for anybody?
Oh, a few, Lucas, but mighty few. Most folks, including my father, had little to show for their efforts but blisters. Say, you look familiar, mister.
I knew it. I knew it. It's your young Micah.
Why, Mr. Newman.
How long's it been? 25, 30 years?
Well, it's certainly been that long since anybody called me young Micah.
Through these old eyes, you'll always be a youngster.
We didn't expect to find anybody left in town, Mr. Newman.
Ain't nobody here except us. Son Herbert and myself. Just passing through, Micah?
Yes, we're on our way back to North Fork. Lucas here. Oh, this is Lucas McCain and his boy, Mark.
Hey, big fella. Hey, you boy, how are you?
Fine, thank you, Mr. Newman.
Manners. I like that in a boy. Now, are you all going to come along to our supper table peaceable, or am I going to have to get mean and start bragging?
No need to drag me, Mr. Newman. How about you, Lucas?
Real kind of you, Mr. Newman.
Not kind at all. Just a windy old cuss looking for some friendly ears to bend. Come along now.
He's a fine old gentleman, Lucas. You'll like him.
Paul, Mr. Newman and his son came through that door, so they couldn't have been in here. But somebody closed that door.
Well, the answer is simple, Mark. Nobody closed it. Like Micah says, the wind plays tricks on you. Door is still closing on you, son?
I guess so.
You wouldn't much like living in a ghost town, would you?
Guess not.
Come on.
Well, long about that time the Franklin moved out, leaving us the last in town.
I remember the Franklins, remember them well.
Say, now that you know we've been staying on here, maybe you can get over here now and again.
Well, as Marshal of North Fork, I'm kept pretty busy, Mr. Newman. Lucas had some cattle to settle over in High Butte and talked me into going over with him to take in the Bill Cody Circus show, but a holiday for me is a rare occasion.
I heard old Bill had turned into a sideshow fella. Can't say as how I approve. But I guess you got a kick out of seeing the circus, didn't you, young fella?
Yes, sir, I sure did.
It's pretty lonely around here, Mr. Newman. You must miss people.
Well, like you to talk the way I do, I kind of do miss people. But it's home long as I got Herbert with me. Being with my boy, I sure got no complaints.
What attachment do you find here, Herbert?
Oh, a man can make a fair living scraping the tunnels. $1 or $2 a day.
Oh, boss, we're among friends, boy. You can tell him as how you're hoping to strike it again. Guess strike was the wrong word to use. And nobody but a fool would keep on prospecting after 1,000 people had dug day and night, year after year. No, Micah, there is a strike here. It was found by my boys 20 years ago. Found and lost.
Boys? Oh, that's right, I remember. You do have 2 other sons.
Had, Micah. Austin and James died some 20 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Seemed like the voice of the Lord said, that much gold better be left in the earth. Well, going on 20 years. We was the last family in town. We were thinking about making our move. Me and my 3 boys. Moving on a little farm, maybe.
Maybe you shouldn't talk about it, Pa. Get to feeling bad.
And the boys were working the tunnels, taking out $1 here and there, wanting enough to stake a piece of land somewhere. And then they found it, breaking through this wall into a cavern that'd like to blind them for gold croppings. Gold, Micah. Gold so thick you could break chunks of it off the wall with your hands. Well, I was up here in the house, fixing some grub. Boys were digging in the cavern long about the 3rd day. And then I felt it. The earth trembling. Herbert was the only one got out alive. It was bad enough before the earthquake, finding your way through those tunnels. But after it was all over.
You never did find the cavern they were working in?
I looked once. That was to say a prayer to a blank wall. Prayer that my boys would rest in peace. Herbert kept searching, tunneling here, tunneling there, hoping to strike it again. More gold than a man had ever seen in a lifetime. But it seems as though the cavern just was swallowed up in the deep earth.
You see it too, Pa?
What, boy?
Something or somebody in the window.
Oh, never a traveler goes through here, boy, when he thinks he hears something or sees somebody else in town. All imagination, boy. Don't blame the boy now. Don't blame him. Took me a long time to get used to them creaking, groaning, tumbleweed blowing around. You want to stay the night, Micah? I got a goodly supply of blankets handy.
Be glad to take you up on that, Mr. Newman. Lucas, we'll walk up the slope after, and I'll let you see the old homestead if there's anything left of it.
Still there, Micah. That old building your pa put up will weather a good many years yet.
We'll take a walk up the slope, Mike, if Mr. Newman will leave the dishes for us.
I'll play a game of checkers for that privilege. It's my nap time now. But when you come back, you'll find one of the cagiest checker players west of the Missouri River all ready and primed. Boy, the lanterns are in the back room. Fetch 'em. I reckon that'll take care of your share of the dishwashing.
Yes, sir.
You know, I recall racing up this hill and having enough wind at the top to whistle a tune.
I bet I can whistle a tune after running to the top.
No takers, Mark. I'd bet right along with you.
Micah, what was bothering Herbert back there?
I don't know. I vaguely remember him as a quiet boy, studious, not much different than he is now.
Well, seems the faster we get out of town, the better he'd like it.
Well, he's not exactly what I'd call sociable, true. Well, not far along now. Oh, here, Lucas, come here. This here's a tunnel entrance where I used to play a trick on my father. When we'd pass, I'd duck in here and use it for a shortcut and come out up ahead, confounding my father plenty, or so I thought.
Time passes quickly, doesn't it, Micah?
Like the wind on your cheek, Lucas boy. Just here and then gone. Well, come on. You know, Lucas, it's a shame an intelligent man like Herbert should chain himself to this town. This gold fever chaining his father, too. The old man enjoys people too much to spend the rest of his days here. Mark? Mark? I thought he was right behind it. Mark! I wonder if he's cutting through that tunnel after hearing me say it was a shortcut.
Micah, that boy loves to play tricks like this. I'd better go on back and follow him through.
You go ahead. I'll wait up ahead where he ought to come out.
Mark, what are you doing in there? Mark, there's nothing smart about you cutting through these tunnels. You might have been lost or got hurt.
I was only trying to play a trick on you, but I
You
thought...
realize how far underground you are? Why did you come down this far?
I didn't know where to go. There was somebody behind me.
I was behind you, son. Didn't you hear me calling?
No, I didn't.
Mark, if you ever try playing a trick like this...
Well, I was trying to tell you. What do you think it is?
I don't know.
Pa, bring the lantern. Look, Pa, it's gold.
Mm-hmm. This is Mr. Newman's cavern, all right. Plenty of surface gold.
Well, that must be it. But Pa, Mr. Newman said he had 2 sons lost in the earthquake.
No earthquake, son. From the looks of that opening over there, I'd say this cavern was sealed off by a stick of dynamite. And whoever that man is, he wasn't trapped in here. He was stabbed with this knife. Well, we better go. This is something for Mikey to figure out. Come on.
Sure didn't seem like you behind me, Pa. I kept on calling, but there was no answer, just sounds.
As you like. What kind of sounds?
Like some... Pa!
All right, who are you? Who are you? Are you Austin Newman? Are you James Newman?
You're not gonna take me! You'll never get me alive! Never! Never! Never!
Get out of here, Mark! Are you all right, son? All right, move.
Lucas, what happened?
Mike, this place is going to cave in any second. Get us out of here.
Follow me, come on.
It was brother against brother. There was more gold than one man could use, yet they fought.
And James killed Austin.
They fought over shares, and they both lost. One dead, the other living to death, driven mad by what he'd done to flesh and kin.
You mean James has been living in this town for 20 years without your father even seeing him?
Pa's eyesight always was poor, worse than he lets on. After I dynamited the cavern, there was no cause for him to think that there wasn't an earthquake. No cause for him to believe that his other sons hadn't died like honorable men. The gold was there, right within reach. I'd never touched it. I left Austin there just the way he died. And James, how could I ever explain where James was?
And you took care of James all these years.
He lived in the tunnels and only come out at night. His mind was gone, but he remembered he was supposed to stay out of sight to protect the secret of the caverns. Of course, I had to stay on here, trapped, saying I was searching for gold. Pa and me, both trapped.
Oh, you got back again. Good. Wait a minute. What's been happening?
We were in the tunnels, Mr. Newman. Some of them collapsed.
Collapsed? I just don't see no point, son. I just don't see no point in your keeping on looking for this cavern and maybe losing your life.
We just been discussing that, Mr. Newman, with Herbert about making up his mind. It's time to leave here and get a hold of that little farm you've been talking about.
Well, now, I just don't know what to say.
It seems to me you had a checker game scheduled.
Right, that's right. You little Micah, go and get that checkerboard over in the cupboard over there, see if I can still beat you. Herbert, that mite of brandy we set aside. Now's as good a time as any. The cure was sure to be illness next year, maybe. Oh, what a day.
What are you thinking about, son?
For a moment there, I really thought we were rich.
Oh, we are. We're very rich. You'll realize it more and more the older you get.
What do you mean? We don't have any gold.
No, but, well, you remember that old oak tree back at the ranch you used to climb when you were just knee-high? That's gold to me, Mark. Real gold. And then the fields in back of our barn, the way they look in the morning, green with dew. And then at night, after a hard day's work, sitting around the house with the fireplace going. That's a kind of gold, isn't it?
You're right, Paul. You know something? We really are rich.
Thank you.